Okay, so good afternoon. This is my name is Lerato, and I'm with an expert in the PhD field, and I've recruited him to just give us some advice, us who are in the starting phases of our PhDs, just to hear what we can do and what we can what advice we can use to complete it within a short space of time, preferably about 2 years. So we've spoken before
Yes.
about the possibility of getting a support team, structuring your thinking. And one thing that I did want to ask that I thought would be very valuable is, how do you eliminate clutter? How do you eliminate distractions?
Okay, first and foremost, as as we have discussed before, is that firstly you must start by focusing. Yeah, don't do any other projects that are not linked to your study. That's the advice that I can give. And then the other thing that you need to do is to have good academic writing skills.
Okay.
In my case, how it helped me is that I went to University of Witwatersrand. They have got a good course on academic writing.
Okay.
And that course helped me a lot.
Okay, and I hear you speak of having good academic writing skills. I assume one should also be able to analyze academic articles.
Yes.
So, how do you even start? I mean, the first thing a supervisor says is read articles, and then you find yourself reading so many, and you're not really sure what is in line with what. So I think the question I want to ask is, how do you use the articles that you found to structure your argument?
Yeah, okay. So basically, firstly, you must look at what your topic is all about. And then you go and get articles that are related to your study. One of the tricks that you can look at is that in most articles, in the introduction section, that's where researchers, they talk about what is missing in other researchers. And then when you go to the conclusion or the discussion section, that's where you find the researchers talking about future research. So if you want to do contribution, because a doctorate is about contribution, you must look at those areas and look where the gaps are and look how your study is going to address those gaps.
All right. What do you think one should expect from a supervisor? You know, as a student, what can I expect from my PhD supervisor, and what kind of expectations do you as a supervisor have on the student?
Okay, from the supervisor's point of view is that you need a supervisor that is going to have a contract with you. That if you submit a chapter within a week or 2 weeks, the supervisor will give you feedback.
Okay.
And then
so having some kind of agreement.
An agreement, yes.
Okay.
And then the supervisor will expect you that when you have got an agreement that you will submit on X day, you must adhere to the deadline.
Sure.
Otherwise, everything will move forward and the supervisor will be angry. And then the other thing that you asked was, what do you look from a supervisor?
Sure.
You need to have a supervisor who has passion about your study. A supervisor who knows in-depthly about your study and who can also guide you in terms of moving forward. Yeah. And obviously a supervisor must also act as a preacher. Because sometimes there's this concept that when you are going through your study, you'll go through certain phases. In some instances, as a married person, you'll go through marital challenges. But your supervisor should know about all the challenges that you are going through.
Oh, so they should have an understanding of your home dynamic as well.
Yes.
And okay, just to understand, to be able to support you where you need that.
Yeah, when you need help.
Support. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And now, the last question I have, when someone talks about PhD, the first thing they say is start. You have to at least start somewhere, right? But sometimes that word start in itself can be so overwhelming.
Yes.
Because so many people say, just start. Where, when, how, who? You know, when you look at the start phase of it.
For me, because a PhD is about solving a bigger problem using different or advanced methodologies. For me, what I will say as a doctorate that will add value is to look within your field. What is the current issue? What is the problem? Like a person like in yourself who's entrepreneurship. what's making entrepreneurs not to be sustainable?
Sure.
Yes. Then you must look what other people are doing to be sustainable.
Okay.
So in this case, you remember earlier on we have spoken about different theoretical frameworks. So you must look at those different theoretical frameworks. Some of them are from international, and customize those frameworks into South African context.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So just to conclude, I assume you're saying to me that the start phase is about finding a gap and trying to solve that gap.
Yes.
And I think another key takeaway obviously is communicating expectations to the supervisor, and the supervisor also communicating expectations to you through a form of agreement. And also another point I thought was very valuable was keep focus, remove all distractions, avoid interacting with other projects, and just focus on the end goal, which is completing in 2 years.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mlefe, for your time, and I appreciate it, and good luck to all those who are hoping to finish much quicker than usual.
Okay.
Thank you.